Morning. I got shit to say. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just not satisfied with where we are as a people, as a society, as a nation. And truth be told, as parents and as elders, fucking kids look to us to teach them something. And we teaching them hate. We teaching them how to kill. We making them so afraid that instead of going to a prom, they're going to a gun store. Instead of learning how to take teasing and making them stronger, instead of teaching them that self esteem begins with self. That's why it's called self esteem. It's how you feel about yourself. Show me somebody that has not been bullied, and I'll show you somebody who was a bully. And I'll go one step further and I'll show you somebody who was frightened. A scared little punk ass kid who probably got beat at home and wasn't shown enough love. So he or she went out in the world and they hated everything because they hated them themselves. They hated everything because they didn't know love. And then we see what's happening today. It's fucking ridiculous. Ain't enough word fucks in my mouth. There's not enough fucks in the vocabulary of everything and nothingness to express my displeasure. It's not a cuss word, it's an exclamation point. Because where we are now, silence, crickets. When we got people who are so full of themselves that they will ascend to power doing the one thing that hurts us more, not only as a country, but until that violence lands on their doorstep, they don't understand. See, parents need to be held accountable. But to take it one step further, all of these so called people, and I use that word loosely, because to be thought of as being a person, to be thought of as being people, you have to have a certain amount of humanity. So these people that are devoid of humanity and their only reason for living is power and the pursuit of money, and they manipulate others to do their bidding and spill and spread that fear. So it becomes this virus and it infects at rates and numbers greater than corona, greater than COVID, and it permeates throughout our society. So kid after kid after kid is getting up and they're doing something they know no better. They know no better. Who has taught them? So that's who needs to be held accountable. The Bannons, the Trumps, the every one of these so-called leaders of politicians and white supremacists and all of these hate groups, they need to be held accountable. When you do something that goes against society, the norms of this society, when the norms become so twisted, when the norms are so skewed that hate is the most dominating force out of there. Those that spew hate, those that radicalize young people, even if they're their children, they need to be held accountable. And when I say held accountable, I mean they need to be prosecuted. If you are a leader of any organization, if you are an elected official and you do something and somebody follows your instruction, and I'm not just talking about January the 6th, because I told you on January the 20th, after the inauguration, I told you those that wreak havoc will never pay. They will live to wreak havoc on yet another day. I told you. And you said, why are you so negative? Call it a premonition or call it common sense or call it a black man, a red man in America who's seen promises made and promises broken. I'm all right. I'm all right. But what I care about is those that are less fortunate because that's what true leadership is all about. You develop the best in people and you guide people beyond their shortcomings to make them better. And that's what's lacking in this world. That's what's lacking in our society. So it's 5:11 in the goddamn morning. Most of you are sleeping. According to my Facebook, a lot of you are up. But I didn't want to bother anybody. I just wanted to get some shit off my chest. 5:11 in the morning. I'm sitting in my makeshift studio and I'm upset because last week I had a message. And for whatever reason, the optics, the resolution of my video was piss poor. And I don't know how to clean it up. Unfortunately, once you put something on YouTube or Facebook or any of these mediums, you have no control over the finished product. So when I say I have something to say, when I say omit the logic, I mean that this shit makes no sense in that the powers to be, whether it's a media conglomerate or if you're a parent, if you're an elder, if you're an uncle, a grandmother, a grandfather, especially the men. Now, see, right away, I'm going to hear from my sisters about why it always have to be about men because men are not being men. Men are not leading by example. Women, as soon as a man steps up, a woman wants to equate herself to that man. We all have specific roles. My mom was a very strong black woman. She didn't need a neon sign to say that she was strong. She led by example. Her strength was evident in the children that she raised. Her strength was evident in the mouths she fed that didn't belong to her. Her strength was evident in the counsel that she gave to those that came to her seeking said counsel or her wisdom. That's what it's about. Women, you are our first teachers. What are you going to teach? Men, brothers, be you black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, blue, red, yellow. I don't care what your race, I don't care what your ethnicity. You have an obligation to bring your children up, to be an example to your family, to bring children up to be productive. have a sense of responsibility, not just about greed. I haven't said too much, but it's 5:15 in the morning, 5:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and I'm pissed.